Morning, and thanks for being with us. I'm Heather Abraham. Well, have you ever wondered about someone's true personality? Maybe they keep their emotions hidden or mask their true feelings. Well, our first guest is here to say that there's a lot you can learn about someone without them even saying a word. Michelle Dresbold is a handwriting analyst and author of the book Sex, Lies, and Handwriting, filled with examples of juicy revelations, all detected by the way people dot their I's and cross their T's and other cursive styles. Michelle is here with us this morning to talk about a new chapter that was just added to your book in the second edition called Donald Trump, the Man Behind the Angles. Welcome.
Oh, it's so nice to be here.
I am so excited for this segment. Everyone who has met you here has said that this is just amazing what you can figure out by someone simply writing a sentence.
Right. One sentence, sometimes even just one word. I can tell almost everything about a person. And you had mentioned that it's just cursive, but it's also in printing. Everything from your brain translates into your hand onto the paper. And what I really do is read your brain prints.
Wow. And so how did you get into this? How do you become a handwriting expert?
Well, I started off, I'm an artist, I'm a painter. I also studied criminology and I also studied psychology. I happen to have taken a course in handwriting analysis. I was really naturally very good at it. I started working also as the consultant for the police department. I got a call one day and I had it was, "Hello, is this Michelle Dresbold? This is major crimes." And I'm like, "Oh my God, whatever it is, I didn't do it. I promise I didn't do it." And they said, "Well, no, we're looking for a handwriting expert and we heard you're really good. Can you come down?" And I started, they just said, like, I had kidnapping notes and murder notes.
Wow.
And luckily for me, but not all the bad guys, I nailed them. And eventually I was sent by the district attorney's office and the police department. I was sponsored to go to the U.S. Secret Service and train with them. And that's how I started.
And so tell us about your book. So you analyze a lot in this book, but the chapter that's in this second edition that I think some people are going to be really intrigued by is the one on Donald Trump.
Right. I actually had Donald Trump. My book has been out for a while, my first edition, and I have had Donald Trump's analysis, a small analysis, since the beginning of the book. But I did a whole chapter, a whole new chapter, going in depth in the man behind the angles. What is really going on in Donald Trump's head?
And so what did you find out? Can you give us a little snippet?
Oh, but of course. Well, do we have some graphics?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's look. I'd like you to look. This is candidate Trump's handwriting. This is Trump's handwriting from 2015, 2016. I want you to look at it, and first you'll see it's all angles. But there's something very, very interesting in this handwriting, and it's the very last letter, which would be the P. Now, doing a Rorschach test, do you see any image in that? And if you're, and I can tell you,
it looks like a mountain or a hill,
or it's a phallic symbol.
Or a phallic symbol. Okay,
when you have yes,
a mountain or a hill, I say.
Yeah, it is a kind of a mountain or a hill, and it's a phallic symbol. And I write about this in the book in a chapter called, "Is that a phallic symbol in your handwriting, or are you just happy to see me?" and when you see phallic symbols in handwriting, it means like, look at me, big macho man. It's also somebody who often is obsessed with sex or is into unorthodox sexual habits. Now that was in some of Donald Trump's signatures, but his signature when he became president changed. And why don't we see what that looks like?
And this is something that does happen. Our writing changes over time.
Your writing may change over time. If you go through an emotional or physical change, you will see changes in your handwriting. If the emotional change or physical change is major, your handwriting can change drastically. If it's a minor change, your handwriting will change minorly.
And look at this. This is much different. I mean, we're seeing slimmer peaks, and I don't know how that's...
Well, they're angles. His handwriting became tighter. When you have angles, and you can even try this. If you do this with your hand, do it, try it. Out there, try it. How do you feel?
You just wave it up and down?
Yeah, but angle.
It's very, it feels like angry.
Angry.
Yeah.
It's angry, it's aggressive.
Aggressive.
If you do curves, just try it with me. How do you feel?
Loose.
loose, relaxed. So angles are tension, aggressiveness, competitiveness. His handwriting became more aggressive as he became president, but something else drastically changed. Look at the P in Trump.
I noticed that it changed. It's less phallic-like, that's for sure.
It's less phallic and it's more pointed. When you have a pointed P, it's called a pugilistic P. It means I want to get my point across. His handwriting became way more angular, bigger, notice me even more than candidate Trump. It's one thing that changed. We are looking, and now, if you see on the screen, there's another Trump handwriting. Now this one, which is the bottom one, if you look at it, notice the first letter, it's sort of shaky.
Yeah.
It's slightly different. This is a very recent handwriting of Donald Trump. It's become more shaky, which means he's going through a change. He may pretend that none of the things going on in the news bother him, but it shows up in his handwriting. It has become a shakier handwriting. And ever since he became president, the phallic symbol in his handwriting has completely disappeared.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, it's a tough job, and you have to be confident, so the aggressiveness could maybe be confidence or overconfidence.
Right.
And, yeah.
Well, almost every leader has some sort of angular handwriting. When you have angles, you're a workaholic, you're aggressive. Part of having angles is good. Too many angles can be bad. There's a balance in everything we do. Somebody who writes, oh, real curvy is never going to make it as a president or as a leader, but you need both.
And you actually have an example from Richard Nixon as well.
Yes, I wanted to show Richard Nixon. I showed you that Trump's handwriting has changed.
Right.
But really Richard Nixon, now this is Richard Nixon from 1968 until Watergate. His handwriting changed drastically.
Yeah.
As time went on and as he felt he was being destroyed, basically, his handwriting started first to waver, and then it just became a great big X. When you have X's or crosses, they basically mean death or no. And so you notice that Richard Nixon's signature slowly turned into nothing more than an X and a squiggle.
Okay. We actually are going to call Ron Smiley over. He's our meteorologist. He's coming on set. Now,
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous too. We gave you some samples of our handwriting ahead of time. So
and
that
you never know what I'm going to say.
I
so
know.
Right, well, that's
I'd
what he
start
said.
running if I were you.
I know, and you were very truthful. So.
Yes, I'm too truthful.
Right.
That's my problem.
Okay, so let's here. Let me move over.
Yeah.
Get on in here, Ron. So let's go through some of the examples. They're over to the side of you.
Let's do yours.
That one's mine.
Let's do Heather
Okay,
first.
so
she's gonna be
our
nicer to
producer said just write a sentence, and I wanted to. It was the thing that was on my mind. I was starving, so that's what I wrote.
Well, your handwriting shows that you're really starving. No, we better feed you. What your handwriting shows, your handwriting, notice it's curvier. No, it's not the Donald Trump angles. It's curvy. Look at your A, look at your N in hungry. That is a maternal handwriting. Wow. When I see this kind of handwriting, I think of maternal, mother. Usually a handwriting like this is somebody who is a mother, has young kids. You have a big separation though between your I, the letter I, and the word am. It means sometimes you need a lot of space.
I do need a lot.
A lot of space. And also your I is just a straight line. When you have just a straight lined I, that means I want to stand by myself. I may have other people in my life, but if I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it on my own and not depend on anybody else.
Wow, go girl.
Go girl. And one last thing, your handwriting goes uphill. Uphill handwriting I find in almost every successful person's handwriting. It means you're upbeat, you're optimistic, and you have the drive to go ahead.
I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now.
Oh man.
Let's see Ron. This is
Ron.
I know that she looked at both of them and she was like, yeah,
Let's
let
start
me do.
with the good first. No.
No, well, Ron, you're a printer, which many people are today, and mostly one thing. Men print more than women. You have a signature that's not too legible, which actually means I thought your signature looks a little like a hurricane.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So that could be you. It has big upper loops, which also means that you have a lot of imagination. You like to think about things inside your head. Your handwriting, notice it also goes uphill. I have done thousands of handwritings, and people who are successful and people with almost every interview, their handwriting goes uphill because of that opt. You also make your exclamation points very big and circular, and that means, hey, give me a little bit of attention, please. And also, if you notice the way you wrote plans, do you notice it's very different than Donald? Big point, meaning argue, 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 get my point across. You have what's called a peaceful P, which means I want to be your friend. I don't need conflict. Let's get this done and let's not have a fight.
Wow. It's almost like she's like read up on us or something.
I know, I know.
I tell you something interesting about the letter P, which we saw in Donald Trump going from phallic to pugilistic to yours, which is peaceful. Believe it or not, I used to have more of a pugilistic P in my handwriting. And I was like, why do I have a pugilistic P? I'm Miss Nice. And I looked about it and I said, and I watched myself and I realized I did argue with people. They like to say it's blue, I like to say it's green, just to have a feisty conversation. But it didn't really work in my personal life. You know, you can't always have a debate. It's good if you want to get ahead, but so I actually worked on changing my handwriting to become more, have better relationships.
Wow.
And it's made a difference. So I changed from not quite a Donald Trump P, and maybe not as peaceful as your P, but somewhere in between. And I would say that it really did help my social life.
I cannot see you arguing with anyone. You seem so pleasant.
Not anymore. Now
Great. Well, this has been inspiring and interesting, and I did not expect.
Can I just ask also, just really quickly, for those that are out there, what are some of the things that they should look at in their own handwriting? I know that they're not an expert, but what are some of the things that you might say, hey, that's sticking out and might be something?
Well, what you look for first is anything that looks out of the ordinary. That will be the first thing I will look at. But you look at your slant. Example, if you slant very far to the right, it means I'm pushing towards you, I'm emotional. Someone whose handwriting slants way far backwards, they're like a little more standoffish. If somebody's handwriting is real tight, you know, they're uptight, they're rigid. If somebody's handwriting is loose, they're free, they're happy, let's have a great day. Somebody's handwriting is too loose, they're drunk. If you have see somebody and all of a sudden their eye dots start to get heavier and heavier and darker, it means they're becoming obsessive and or maybe taking drugs. So there are things that whether you're a teacher, I think every teacher in this whole country should learn about handwriting analysis. You can help people, you can tell about problems before they're apparent. It is a wonderful tool to know people and to help people.
Well, we can get some of that, at least a little bit, from your book, and you can learn so much more in your book, Sex, Lies, and Handwriting. It's now in a new second edition, as we told you. Look for it online and in bookstores. So great. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Up